Time for another Monday Evening Mojo, baby. Today's reminder is simple. I have to go. Today's reminder is simple. Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome. Let me just say to you, hey, family, it's Geoff Tyson, the comeback king, man. And guess what? I'm the host of Conversations with Geoff, founder of Comeback King Enterprises. And guess what? It's time for another Monday Evening Mojo. That's right. Monday Evening Mojos are what's going on for me on these Mondays, right? So check out last week's Monday. Woo, it was powerful stuff. So today's, like last week's reminder, is simple, but it's powerful. Today's reminder is simple and it's powerful enough to shift a heavy heart. Shift a heavy heart. Heal the broken spirit or spark someone's comeback. So today's message is around random acts of kindness, right? And I just want to share a story that I experienced yesterday with my wife and I, and I dropped her off in the moist, yesterday Sunday, right? So check it out, stay with me, right? So I drop her off and, kiss goodbye and on our way back from where we went to church and she's in the choir, so I dropped her off and blah, blah, blah. So, and then when we came back, she says to me, that man that's laying underneath the bridge, he's still there. And I'm like, I wasn't there. I wasn't in that space, right? And she said, he's still there. And it was like freaking, we're in Texas, it was hot, right? Even in the shade, it was hot. And so I said, okay, well, let's go grab him some water, right? And figure it out. And it wasn't on my radar, it wasn't in my plan. I'm being honest about how things are with me sometimes, right? And so we go get him some water, and it's underneath a busy interstate in Texas. And so, people coming by, so we get the water and we, I'm kind of like, okay. I wasn't in it yet, right? She was there. She was like, man, we got to do something with this guy. And there were homeless guys around. So we get in the car and I move back around and I come up to him and it's smoking hot. And there's cars going by. And I thought he was the guy standing on the corner because they got everywhere. But no, he was a guy. I looked over to my left, right, where we were going. And when I looked over, I saw what looked like a body laying on the embankment of underneath the bridge. And so as we pull up there and I see him and I said, sir, and he moved and said, so, we saw you, thought you might want this. Would you take this from us? And he said, yes, sir. Thank you. And then, asked him, are you able, if we don't have anything to give you to eat, but are you able to walk and move around if we gave you some money to get something to eat? And man, here's the hit, guys. I mean, when he looked me in the eye, right? I mean, this guy laying underneath an angled embankment in 195-degree weather, cars zipping by. And when he looked me in the eye, there was still a level of pride in that man's spirit. I'll never forget, I mean, he was like, as he goes, so do I, right? Oh, man. And we gave him what we had cash-wise, and we had to be somewhere, I said, well, so we could get him something to eat, and we just did what we did. And I'm like, I'm not bragging about that because there's a whole lot more we could have done and need to do as a nation, as people. But man, random acts of kindness. And I told you when we first started this little mission, I wasn't locked in. I had other things in mind. I was ready to go eat and something else. But the more we worked on it and the more I'm like, man, it could be me, Linga. It just was powerful. So kindness, I have something I want to share. Kindness is a spiritual weapon, not religious weapon, but a weapon of kindness is about being loving, being generous, being kind, being honest, being empathetic. All these things that elevate our spirit. Don't sap the strength from our spirit, but elevate our spirit, man. Right? And so saying hello. Hi, may I help you? You look like you're having a hard time. Right? Please let me do something for you today. At a restaurant, and there's a big family, right? And they're out for their family event. We don't know what it is, but man, if you got 5 kids and and you're out in the restaurant, you're gonna spend some jack. So maybe you pay for that meal for those people. I mean, there's so many random acts of kindness that we all can practice. Because look, we're all in this world of chaos and confusion. I wrote down noise, fear, and frustration in the external world that we all are living in. Noise about, the most recent thing about Medicaid and the reductions and the cuts and AI and the job security and put it in the chat what it is for you. I mean, we all have stuff going on, right? But a random act of kindness is how we fight back with light. It's made a note to me. How we fight back. Be the light in the darkness. Be the beam that we're needing to follow through whatever thinking that's kicking our butt. We're right in the middle of the comeback and don't know who can get out. We're just finished one and like, don't, woo, guess what? Get ready. If you just finished, get ready for another one because that's what's happening, right? So anyway, random acts of kindness is how we fight back with light. A few words of encouragement, a moment of patience with somebody, right? We all can say some kind words. We all can be a little bit more patient. I'll just speak for me. I know I can be more patient. And my wife and I do this practice, what's called epic. We like to be ones that encourage or empower and praise, inspire and compliment each other. We practice this at home so that we can be practicing it in the streets, right? Encouraging, empowering. I like the word empower. She says encourage, right? But praising, inspiring, and complimenting all those we meet, man. Everybody wants to hear a nice word about themselves. I don't care what you say, right? Don't forget that. Children, think of ourselves as that person is another child. Would you spare the compliments or spare the praise if you could see the face of your child in front of you? Send a text that says, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope all is well. You're on your phone all the time. You carry this thing around everywhere, right? So, I mean, these are just simple things. They go a long way. And boy, I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of hurting people out there for all the things I'm talking to you about. We already know it. But we can make a difference. And here's the thing. Here's this thing. These moments just don't help. That situation with that gentleman underneath the bridge laying out there with everything he owned, I'm assuming, that helped. Yes, I'm sure the water, and I don't care what he did with the money. And there's all kinds of conversations around that and judgments that we make about people, but that's not for me to decide. He was helped at that time, but it helped me more than it helped him. Those types of things help restore us, man. I was in that funk. It was about me. My wife was like, wow, we got to do something with this guy, right? And it brought me back and lined me back up. Because as I wrote down here to myself, because when you give what you need, you create the comeback you've been praying for. When you give what you need to others, you create the comeback you've been praying for and for them as well. Here's a quote. I just want to say this as we kind of wind this thing down. Remember this: those who refresh others with themselves, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. That's the Proverbs 11:25. So man, come on, boy, it's simple stuff. And as you're dropping in here, man, go back and catch the beginning if you just missed that. And I want to ask you this question. What random act of kindness can you do this week? This 7-day random act of kindness challenge. It's an unofficial challenge, man. But see how you feel. Day 1, day 2, day 3, and practice it at home first, baby. If you're by yourself, call your friends up. Knock on your neighbor's door. Right? Be the happy guy in the elevator if that's where you are. Be the happy person in the grocery store in the line. Be that person, man. This week, don't miss a moment to bless somebody. And not for the applause, not to get credit. We didn't stop and help that man. It wasn't even, I don't care. But I use that story because that's the real stuff. We all have that opportunity. But do it because of who you are and how we can change the atmosphere. And Lord knows we need to change the atmosphere. There's some crazy, crazy times coming up, coming up, existing in this world that we live in. Hey, Christina, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Be nice to yourself. Eat clean, get sleep, and work out. I love that. It all starts with how we treat ourselves. You're absolutely right. The happier you are with self, the happier we're going to be with those in front of us. So anyhow, man, listen. Yes, ma'am, I'm with you. Yeah. So I'm just going to hop off of here. Thanks for stopping in. Pass this thing around to your friends and give me a thumbs up if this is something that really resonates with you. And obviously it does. I appreciate you stopping. And let's begin this week. Random acts of kindness. A simple smile. A simple hello. Right? May I help you? I mean, boy, there's a lot of old folks. Hey, watch out. Yeah, I'm great, but I ain't old yet. That could use some help, man. What are we waiting for? Let's take the focus off ourselves, put it on those that are out there in front of us. And let's begin to make a difference, one person at a time, one smile at a time, one thank you at a time, one that looks nice at a time. And remember, baby, don't let the stinking thinking block you from your blessings. We all deserve better. Let's give better. Give genuinely. Appreciate you. Listen to the beginning and let me know, Christina. And I appreciate you. And I want to keep this thing under 15 minutes, so I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody. Think about what I'm asking you to do. It's easy to do. Start with yourself. When you look in the mirror in the morning, tomorrow morning, you say, hey, hi. Reacquaint yourself with that happy person inside of you. Say, today we will make a difference in our lives and in the lives of the people around us. You can do this thing called life, because life be life, but just don't let life control us. Let's get ahead of it. Remember, like I always say, don't let nothing stop you from your greatness, especially your thinking. Nothing shall stop you from reaching your greatness. This is your destiny. Come back, King, saying, have a great week. Random acts of kindness. Make that your message. And I'll see you next month. Appreciate you, Christina, again. Talk to everybody later, those who watch the replay. Talk to you next week. Have a great day.